Are you pumped? Because I know I'm excited. It's Friday, and now we've started another edition of Jamaica Magazine. So, hello and welcome. I am your host, Audrey Williams. We have a lot in store for you today, including how the Ministry of Education and other stakeholders are making digital textbooks accessible to all students. We also look at the effort our fisher folk are putting into getting the fish from the pond to the plate. All this and more after the news.
Good day, I'm Theodore Henry, and this is your JIS News for Friday, July 7, 2023. By March 30, 2024, all CARICOM nationals should have the right of unrestricted travel to live and work in the member countries of the community. Regional leaders agreed to amend the revised Treaty of Chaguaramas this week during the 45th regular meeting of CARICOM heads of government held in Port of Spain, Trinidad and Tobago this week. Chairman of CARICOM and Prime Minister of Dominica, Roosevelt Skerrit, made the announcement during a press conference on Wednesday. The decision applies to member states that are also part of the CARICOM single market and economy and expands free movement beyond certain categories of skilled persons as previously agreed by CARICOM governments. Mr. Skerrit says that while the regional leaders understand that there will be challenges for some, they are committed to this as a fundamental part of the integration architecture.
In addition to the free movement, there is certain contingent rights that will be associated with the free movement. Access to primary health and emergency health, access to basic education, pre-primary, primary, and secondary education.
Those will be added to the existing right to Social Security for skilled nationals, and a financing arrangement has been agreed to fund the availability of those social services in all member states. Prime Minister Andrew Holness has said the decision will be beneficial to Jamaicans. The status quo, however, remains for Haiti, which has asked to be excused from the arrangements for free movement. It also does not apply to the Bahamas and Montserrat, as they are not part of the CARICOM single market and economy. Prime Minister Andrew Holness was the voice of CARICOM on Thursday as he lobbied the United Nations Security Council for solutions to the crisis facing Haiti. During a virtual presentation, Mr. Holness reiterated the urgency for stakeholders to move beyond the rhetoric of solidarity with Haiti to implementing strategic and targeted action. This, he emphasized, would allow for tangible progress in that country.
We note the many offers of support to Haiti. We acknowledge the imposition of sanctions on gang members as a good and important step. However, sanctions are insufficient to adequately address the local insecurity and transnational impact of the gangs.
Mr. Holness said the UN's integrated office in Haiti must be sufficiently equipped to provide robust support to the Haitian National Police to combat the rising violence and restore order. CARICOM is calling for a UN Security Council resolution to effect multinational security measures with the appropriate jurisdictional mandate as soon as possible. In addition, Mr. Holness also pointed out that the food crisis was compounded by the security situation.
There can be no peace among people who are hungry. To provide immediate relief, it is imperative that the humanitarian response plan is properly funded. We urge humanitarian partners to massively scale up financial assistance, including investing in Haiti's agricultural capabilities for food security and resilience strengthening.
Over the next 5 years, 1,000 new students enrolling at the University of Technology, UTech, will benefit from a Government of Jamaica Science, Technology, Engineering and Mathematics STEM scholarship program. The Ministry of Finance and the Public Service and the Students' Loan Bureau will be spending $2.4 billion to offer the full tuition, needs-based scholarships to 200 students yearly. It commences September 2023. Minister of Finance and the Public Service, Dr. Nigel Clark, says the venture will help Jamaica in the knowledge process outsourcing business. For him, Jamaica must tap into the information technology-enabled business services.
Jamaica has that area, or these areas are growing tremendously, and those are services that can be delivered remotely. All that we need are sufficient numbers of Jamaicans on island who have the skills on which these services are built.
Dr. Clark says the opportunities are tremendous, and Jamaica could have thousands of people employed in STEM emerging fields where incomes are much higher than average incomes available in the country.
The government is serious about taking advantage of this opportunity that Jamaica has. And it is for this reason why we are making a concerted effort to support the production of qualified, trained, and skilled graduates in STEM areas generally, and in particular in the emerging subsectors of computer science.
Transport Minister Darrell Vaz will be taking a 100-day action plan for the transportation sector to Parliament. The plan will be brought to Parliament before or just after the summer recess,
so that I can get to fully understand their concerns and obviously the partnership going forward in relation to how we are going to turn around the transport industry, the public transportation sector, to become what it should be and show that we can do it and we can be a disciplined society.
Minister Vaz made the announcement during the post-cabinet press briefing on Wednesday. He also used the occasion to divulge that the Jamaica Urban Transit Company would be testing a cashless fare collection system over a 6-month period.
The cashless pilot is on, and I think that is going to be a big help in relation to the viability of the JUTC, which, as we know, it takes billions of dollars out of the budget every year for subsidy.
Minister Vaz says a rural school bus transportation system is also part of his vision for the sector. The Ministry of Health and Wellness has launched a Nutrition Facts Panel media campaign to fast-track its response to the scourge of non-communicable diseases, NCDs. This health education campaign is being rolled out under the slogan, "Read it before you eat it." It is a call for Jamaicans to read food labels to make better choices. Portfolio Minister Dr. Christopher Tufton says this is a good start, as good nutrition can mitigate the prevalence of chronic non-communicable diseases and other health risk factors.
I think this is a great start, and it supports the other things that we're doing, like school nutrition policy, the physical activity program, the elimination of trans fats, and so on. We have to see it all related and linked and make the push to get it working.
According to a recent survey, 70% of Jamaicans have a general awareness of nutrition facts panels, and 69% express a positive attitude towards them. Only 30% are able to accurately interpret and apply the information on them. At the same time, the Jamaica Health and Lifestyle Survey 3, 2016 to 2017, showed that chronic non-communicable diseases continue to surge in Jamaica, with more than half of the population categorized as either pre-obese or obese.
What we have on our hands is a health emergency of epidemic proportions. It is important that Jamaicans learn to read and interpret the Nutrition Facts Panel with its information on serving sizes, calories, nutrients, and percent daily value for the individual intake. This will empower people to choose foods that allow them to maintain energy and the appropriate nutrient requirements, particularly sugars, salts, and fats.
The Nutrition Facts Panel media campaign is a collaborative effort between the Ministry of Health and Wellness, the Heart Foundation of Jamaica, National Health Fund, and the Jamaica Association of Professionals in Nutrition and Dietetics. And finally, the Ministry of Health and Wellness is advising members of the public to expect a longer than normal wait time at hospital, accident and emergency A&E departments across the country. This is reportedly the result of an increasing number of patients requiring care at A&E departments. The ministry released a press statement earlier this week advising that the regional health authorities were working to ensure that the triage system was optimized. Additional customer care personnel have also been deployed in the A&E waiting areas to address the concerns of patients and provide the necessary updates. And that's it for JIS News today. I'm Theodore Henry. Thanks for watching.
The following is brought to you by the Office of the Prime Minister.
To fight crime and violence in your country, your government has invested over $9.7 billion into national security systems. This includes the construction and renovation of dozens of police stations, the acquisition of critical security equipment such as patrol vessels and police vehicles, the recruitment and training of more police officers, and the build-out of the Jamaica Defense Force. Your government is investing in your safety. We are building Jamaica.
The proceeding was brought to you by the Office of the Prime Minister.
The Ministry of Education's Youth Special Education Unit and the UNICEF Technical Group have worked to provide all students with access to digital textbooks. Our next feature will show how it works.
With just a touch,
with just a swipe, our youth are now able to learn on any device.
With the help of UNICEF's Technical Working Group and the Ministry of Education and Youth Special Education Unit, our young people now have access to digital textbooks. The Universal Design for Learning (UDL) methodology, which is central to accessible digital textbooks (ADT), has allowed for the venture to take root. The first two fully accessible books were released in late September 2022 to allow for greater inclusion of students with disabilities. Now this time around, all students will have access to high-quality, interactive digital textbooks in a variety of languages, including Jamaican Sign Language.
We are very happy to see technology transforming education, particularly in areas where children did not have the accessibility. The integration of technology into education is the next frontier. There is a fear that somehow technology, with all its advancements in artificially developing intelligence, could replace or minimize the role of the teacher. That is absolutely not the case when it comes to education. It means that the teacher now has a more powerful tool with which they can exercise their duties. And of course, you know, it introduces new challenges into the classroom, right? But it also introduces greater opportunities for engagement.
My name is Ari Jones and I am from Danny Williams School for the Deaf.
Ari and others have access to 2 books that were transformed into ADT format for the Jamaican pilot using UDL principles, My Brain is My Boss, and Harriet Hen and the Hawk. Little Harry is using the My Brain is My Boss ADT book to help him grasp the relationship between the brain and the body.
In this effort, we are working to make sure that no one is left behind, and the population that is in our most concern is the disability population. As you know, we have a lot of barriers in the country for this population to enter to the education system yet. But I want to have the opportunity to congratulate the government for the recent passed Disability Act, which paved the way for this population to really have their rights granted in the country.
The Disabilities Act came into effect on February 14, 2022. This followed its approval in 2014 and the affirmation of the Disabilities Regulations in 2021.
Everybody get ready. It's festival time again.
Jamaica, me yard, me yard, me yard, me yard.
Oh, we dancing same way. People jamming same way. We are real. Among the finalists is the 7-time festival song winner, Eric Donaldson.
Reggae, 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 Jamaica. Now you know the best in the world is Jamaica. Brown and gold, black, green and gold.
Junior Award winner, Escoliva.
Feels like home. We need more.
An artist named Hot Rod.
More love on the land.
2 mentor groups.
Well, look about with Talawa.
This is Jamaica.
Best food and rich culture.
Jamaica, we born and grow.
A visually impaired female singer called Princess Black.
We have to big up Mama J.
I'm really excited by what I consider to be the flood of quality entries in the competition.
Oh, happy Independence Day, a Jamaica Independence Day. Well, no way, no way, Canada. No matter how them tell you, them a live bigger than hell. No way, no nice Canada. No overseas, just sit down and a ball when. No way, no way, Canada.
The phrase small scale, big impact well describes the mindset of our fisher folk. But don't just take it from me. Further evidence will be provided in our upcoming feature.
My name is Cardell Anthony Style. I'm the operating manager here at the Boardwalk Farm here in Lightspen, Old Harbour. On a production day or a harvesting day is like, I wake up like probably 4:35 in the morning. Obviously, we'll get the call from overnight saying that we have a pan ready for selling. So they will respond to us and then we will know based on the amount of persons coming.
Before I come, I would normally use my phone as a mean of advertisement. So I would use my status to advertise. So I would know exactly say, I'm supposed to travel with a 200 or 250 today because it depends on the demand. So that's where I was started. Once I come here, I would contact Grace first to tell her say I would need 200, and then I would come and then they would draw it from the pan and they would wait, and then I would put it in my cart and then I would leave and take it to the destination.
So the selling take place like probably roughly 8 o'clock. We finish our stuff like that. We prepare the feeding again for the entire day. Currently we're on the Biomar. The Biomar feed, it's a floating feed. But when we use the floating feed now, it's like we actually see the amount that the fish is consumed and where exactly the feeding reaches in the water and everything. With the Biomar, once you throw it, if for instance the fishes are not feeding, you will find that all of it just float to the side. So you will have an idea the next day now as to say, all right, this pan is not feeding as well as they ought to, so probably you want to cut back a little bit. Or if you have a pan that is consuming that much, you find out that either you want to improve on the feeding capacity or, you know, the amount is okay.
Our farm is just tilapia. We just do tilapia farming. We started out with just 2 ponds. It was a test run, had a lot of challenges, a whole heap of setbacks, but so far it has improved significantly. So from then to now we are doing way better from then. It is a lucrative business. There are not enough persons. The demand is so much. So based on what the challenges they had, we figured out how we could circumvent those work again around them, mitigate all of those. We saw where we could have done the same fish they were doing, but get better results. We have always considered farming to be a great option, something to explore. The opportunity came up to purchase this farm. We didn't hesitate. And then the fact that it had, all of these ponds were existing, and then we had the equipment to renovate them, so it kind of cut some of the costs. So we didn't hesitate, and that's really how this started. The National Fisheries Authority was of great assistance and guidance to us in that we knew nothing about fish farming. So you had their resource officers would come by. Like we have a 1 acre pond, they were really integral in telling us, okay, this is your stock density, which is how much to stock per acre, half acre. And then they would come and check, your water quality is not so good, so maybe you need to do this or that. So they have been of great help to us. And initially, our fries were gotten from them. So, they still continue to guide and help us throughout the process. There's a misconception that they tasted like dirt. So persons have now come to realize that that's not necessarily so. They actually taste fabulous. So it's not a set number per day, but say an average size, a 1 acre pond, if you harvest, ideally for me, I would like to get a minimum 4,000 pounds. We have come close to that. So it's based on what you stock, the size of your pond, what you stock and what you recover. Predominantly, they're from all over. I've had one person come from as far as Westmoreland.
I supply the Bagwak region, West Prospect, a small community named Omele, Lucky Valley. So I would do that like 3 times per week. They're very good size. Their average size is like 3/4 pound up to a pound. And they're very fleshy and meaty, so they really love them and they're always requesting it, so it's really high in demand. It's an opportunity to start something for yourself. So sometimes even if you're not working, you can create something for yourself. Most people may not have a transport where they can transport it, but sometimes you can maybe start with a bicycle or whatever way to start something, to create something for yourself. Make a betterment of yourself and bring the goods to the people because it's high in demand and that's what they want.
I would encourage others, if they had the land space, the infrastructure to do so, with proper guidance though. So get in contact with the National Fisheries Authority. Check with other farmers who have been in the business. A lot of them are willing to guide you along the way. So with that guidance, and if you do things correctly, then it is a success. Can be very, very successful.
Fishing means a whole lot to me. Whatever you want, you just have to go for it because you cannot learn to drive in a parked vehicle.
Clarendon is home to the Milk River Bath, a mineral spa recognized for the therapeutic value of its waters and other historic sites and hidden gems.
It is undoubtedly one of the oldest churches in Jamaica and the Caribbean. Its brick and mortar structure is said to have been laid over 300 years ago by slaves, and inside its walls are numerous antiques and prized possessions. This is the first of 3 unique and historical places we will be exploring in the parish of Clarendon today. Let's go check it out.
Welcome to St. Peter's Alley. I am Charmaine Langoth and I'll be your tour guide. The original building was built in 1671. It was damaged by the earthquake of 1692, reconstructed, and then damaged again by the hurricane of 1951 and again reconstructed. This building holds many items of historic importance. To your left, up this steep and narrow staircase, you will witness the bell. It weighs 3/4 of a ton. It was built in 1857 by Messrs. Mayers, the same company that built the famous Big Ben in London. Let us continue our journey. And now we're going to look at our historic organ. It is actually the oldest in the Commonwealth Caribbean. We got it in 1847, and at that time it cost 250 guineas. As you can see, it is a piped organ. And if you look around the church, you will see our many exquisite monuments, wall and floor tablets mounted or laid in dedication to the dearly departed, and of course, our east stained glass window.
If you think this place is amazing, wait till you get to our next venue. So after leaving the historical St. Peter's Anglican Church in the small town of Alley, we went to the most southern part of the parish of Clarendon, where our friends from the Jamaica Caves organization will take us to our next destinations. Tucked away in the dense, dry limestone forest of Portland Ridge is some of Jamaica's most beautiful caves, the Jackson's Bay Great Cave and the Portland Cave 1.
Okay, this is Portland Cave 1. It's just one large entrance, and then there's a couple of other small light holy type entrances. We'll go down here just a little bit, and then we're going to get some lights going. Okay, right up above us in that bell hole, that's what that's called, with the dark staining, you can see a few bats up there. And down directly below, you can see fresh rat bat guano there. Yeah, that's a type of limestone, but it's more properly, it's calcite or calcium carbonate. And calcite is a crystal, so when you get it nice and clean like that, you can see how sparkly it is. Yeah, down here, you can see these gours, these little depressions in the flowstone. These are called cave pearls. They can get a lot larger. There's another one there. And what they form where you've got water that comes and goes and comes and goes, but also flows a little bit.
Wow, who would have thought that Clarendon had such hidden treasures? 2 discoveries down, 1 to go. So I know you've all heard about the popular Milk River Mineral Spa, but did you know that Clarendon is also home to another outstanding mineral spring? 10 minutes east of Lionel Town is a popular cooling off spot for locals and foreigners, the Salt River Mineral Bath. The best thing about this recreational area is that it can be found right beside the main road and is completely free to enjoy. The spa, which is a pond with mineral water running from rocks adjacent to it, regularly sees patrons who visit for its healing properties or just for an evening of fun and relaxation. And if visitors ever get hungry, there's a host of food stalls with authentic Jamaican dishes to choose from, just like this one.
enjoy your meal?
I love coming here, especially on a Sunday, to come eat the people them festival, because it tastes nice, of course. The water, the people, it's just nice.
Thank you so much, Sister Mercy, for that delicious meal.
The pleasure is all mine.
As you can see, the parish of Clarendon has more to offer than you know. All you have to do is get up, get out there, and explore.
We've reached the end of our program. Get a recap of everything you saw here and more on our website, jis.gov.jm. In the words of John Maxwell, a leader is one who knows the way, goes the way, and shows the way. I'm Audrey Williams. Bye for now.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.